Hey everybody, it's Pajama Life with our review of Opus and Strange New Worlds. Let's go.
After 30 years outside the public eye, pop icon Moretti returns for an exclusive listening experience.
This is for Ariel Ecton.
Congratulations, and welcome to this once-in-a-lifetime gathering.
Moretti requires that everyone be shaven. So, how's the lady garden?
Mr. Moretti, we'll be playing the greatest album of modern times. Future times, all the times, really.
What is it that you guys do?
Would you like to see?
Is this not alarming to you?
Are you sure you haven't been drinking with us?
Okay.
Kiss this.
Oh, all right. It's Pajama. And with these two characters, Pat, say hey to the people.
Hey everybody, hope everybody's staying cool.
All right, and this guy, David, say hey to the people.
Hey, everybody. Great to be with you this afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. Some interesting things to talk about here. A little bit of some social political commentary maybe coming up.
Yeah, so David, talk about Opus.
This is a film, my understanding, did a little research after watching it. It cost 10 million thereabouts to make. It only made 2 million worldwide. That said, I see a movie that is going to become a cult classic, a sleeper of a film.
No.
This was, while in certain places, way too gory. And man, carry an EpiPen, for the love of goodness. Carry an EpiPen and don't let anybody go into anaphylactic shock around you. That's terrifying looking. But this is so good. I thought it was going to be maybe like a, no pun intended, a regurgitation of The Menu, because that's kind of where I thought we were going. And then at the end, there haven't been enough people to watch it, so I'm not going to give a spoiler because everybody, this is a thought-provoking, little gore, but a thought-provoking, powerful film. It was beautifully done in the storytelling and just leaves you with a sense of weary dread.
Yeah.
If you're concerned about cult figures and the rise of a cult of personality and pop culture or politics or whatever your goose stepper affinity is, this is a film to watch and to take lessons on how to try to fight it. Because my goodness, this was a really good movie. What'd you guys think?
Pat, what'd you think?
Well, yeah, I enjoyed a lot of it. I had problems believing John Malkovich. I mean, it was almost like a caricature of John Malkovich, where he's just this. I think he's gotten to this point where he's the creepy guy in every show that he's in. He was not very. I mean, it was tough. I mean, because everything was hung on him as far as the story. The story was that he's got this cult figure following. He's this super awesome. I don't know if it was a Mick Jagger Morrissey vibe that they were trying to go for.
I thought David Bowie.
No, I never felt David.
Yeah,
It felt Mick Jagger Morrissey is what it felt like, a mix of them two. If they'd had a kid, that would have been him. You know, after he turned 70 years old, because the dude's old. I thought the performances were great. It was a gorgeous film, but it did have The Menu. Me and my wife were watching it, and she's like, "This looks a lot like that movie with the restaurant." And I'm like, "Yeah, The Menu with fines." And she goes, "Yeah, that's it." And I'm like, "Yeah, that was it," because it really hit me that way.
I don't know.
It did. It had that everybody's in on the joke, everybody's in on the story, everybody knows what's happening except for the special invited guests, that are going to get stabby or whatever they're going to have happen to them. It had trappings of horror in it, but unfortunately the biggest problem for me is that the central figure that they hung this whole thing on was not believable to me.
Hmm.
Everybody else felt, and I love Malkovich, man. Don't get me wrong. I am a big John Malkovich fan, but it just felt forced to try to make him into the. I mean, he, like I said, he sells creepy, crazy better than anybody. I mean, being John Malkovich, diabolical, dangerous liaisons. I mean, yeah, he's good at the things he does, and he's kind of gotten into that little bit of a niche, kind of like Dennis Hopper did for towards the end of his career, where he's the psycho. I mean, it tends to be. It feels to me like a lot of times, everybody's like, okay, we need a psycho. Who's going to be our psycho? Well, I don't think John Malkovich is making anything out. Yeah, I think he could do that. Sure, if we can convince him, sure, let's bring him in. That kind of. It felt like that kind of a feel. I didn't hate it. It was well done, and I think there's some really good performances in there. It's just that the central character, the whole story was hung upon, was just kind of weak. So
I loved it. I thought it was cool. I was talking with the producer on this, and we thought it was more about the internet and how the internet creates these kind of cults and like followers, and people are worshiping, but journalists are vilified. So you get what happens to each of them who have I won't say, but it's something nefarious. And it is really interesting if you think about it, that it's about the internet and the rise of these internet cults, or these followings that have sprung up over time, and also about journalism and maybe entertainment journalism, gossip, and each of them represented maybe a sector of kind of the internet and entertainment, and how it's destroying creativity. And so I thought that was an interesting way to look at it. But A24 always comes through with something interesting.
Yeah.
You might not like it, but it's always interesting and thought-provoking and creepy. And to take, a story like this, and kudos to the new young director, African-American man, and Ayo Edebiri. I mean, she's Hollywood's it girl right now. You are seeing her in marquee properties. And so I'm glad to see her getting something different. I kind of want her to have a different character, though. I thought this character was kind of similar to the bear, kind of. And I want to see her do something a little more where she's more confident than this kind of halting, reticent kind of person. But I really enjoyed it. I didn't know what I was getting into, but boy, I was along for the ride. And the music is by what's his name? The Chic guy. Chic, Niles.
Crane? Niles Crane?
No,
he's not a
fool.
Chic, he's a doctor.
No, he did Chic, and he worked with Nile Rodgers. That's it. Nile Rodgers did the music for this and The Dream. So it's a really fun soundtrack too. I think the song that John I don't know if it was actually John Malkovich, but it was a fun song. And Dina Simone, that was a hot one. That was a hit. So I thought that part was cool too, that the music was actually fun. But underneath is something dark and dreary and mysterious and creepy. So definitely, I think you want to check out Opus. It's something really unique. I think we can all agree on that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Next up, season 3 of Strange New Worlds. Here we go.
Someone once said space is dark and cold. Our job.
Technical difficulty with the video.
bring
There we
warmth,
go.
bring life to wherever we go. This crew is a team, the finest Starfleet has to offer.
We await your orders, sir.
You don't trust me with your best friend?
You don't trust me with your baby brother.
It's madness.
We have to stop this invasion. Prepare all weapons.
We're going to find our way out of this together.
Get to the ship!
It's 1 in 1,000 we get it done right or don't blow ourselves up along the way. I like those odds. We'll just turn it off before we blow up.
Okay. I'm gonna go first. I am not with it. I just cannot get into this show. I don't know why. It just is not appealing to me. I didn't think I was kind of like, now they're ripping off aliens with the Gorn. I didn't think the Gorn had all that going on, but I just now Spock and Christine are on the outs, and I really like them. And now it's like, what the? And then she pops up with Dr. Corby, which I thought was the best kind of link to the old series, because I really love that episode when he holds up the hand. Christine, this is nothing. Oh, I love that. But I kind of like, man, I'm kind of. And the second one was kind of like Charlie X, I think. But if you think about it, the voice of the entity was Q's voice. So that was kind of cool to have that little Easter egg in there. But I'm kind of over that. I never thought I'd say that about a Star Trek series. But all right, Pat, I know you're going to disagree. That's
well,
okay.
you're wrong. Of course,
I'm not
you're wrong,
wrong,
on this.
but
You're
know,
kind of wrong.
I'm
this
not.
This is one of the best Star Treks they've had in a while. I mean, it's.
And what happened to the doctor? Why is he so skinny now? But go ahead.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've been monitoring his caloric intake, but I'm just telling you,
more.
this guy. I mean, that you have great characters in this. Everybody is a great character, and just because it doesn't fit with what your personal opinion of what Star Trek should have been.
Excuse me, that's what this show is all about, is personal opinions.
The thing is, you need to. Everybody knows where this ends. Anybody that's a Star Trek fan, I should say, knows where this ends. It ends with Christopher Pike sitting in a chair, listening to Kirk, and they
maybe not. We don't know.
Unfortunately, they box themselves into a certain amount of things they have to get to, because we all know where it's going. You need to hit certain points, and they're going to have to hit these points. And if they can do it in an interesting way that makes you care about what happened to Christopher Pike, because I didn't care what happened to Christopher Pike when I watched Kirk.
I did.
And those guys. It was, I mean, sure, he's going to go back to the
Jeff Chandler was beautiful and amazing.
The big veiny aliens are going to make him think he's believe he's just walking around and everything. Fine, that's okay, but it didn't interest me. This new Pike is absolutely a fabulous captain. I like him a lot. He's likes to cook. That's how he gets together with people. Or all the different captains have all had their little thing. You're wrong. But I love everything about this. This is one of the better shows they've put out in a while. So,
David, what did you think?
Well, I tell you, I do think the events of this week do force us to kind of redo the intro, such as, this is a Paramount show after all, censorship, the last step of satirists, the last step towards a fascist dictatorship of your country, as opposed to space, the final frontier. We're heading into, shame on you, Paramount, shame on you. You guys freaking suck right now, and I say that very sincerely. That said, back to the show, because everything's about politics with me these days. There's just no getting around it. Man, I love this show. I really love the whole backstory of Captain Pike before. I thought that was so fascinating to see what these uniforms and the way the ship looked, and because I grew up, I just watched and rewatched all of these Star Trek shows,
Yeah.
and I absolutely love Captain Christopher Pike, and this entire cast, the ensemble crew. Um, I just think is just fantastic. It's it's probably the best rethinking of core characters that I've ever seen, with Nurse
Yep.
Chapel and Uhura,
Mm.
uh, and Spock. I mean, this
Wait,
this is
okay,
just
David, can I challenge you on something? Because Nurse Chapel in the original series was deeply in love with Spock, and now they made it like, man,
Just
forget
because,
you.
well,
And so
but just
I kind of am like, what? This is, man, that kind of turned me off too.
well, the thing is, people change too. I mean, maybe she was deeply in love with Spock as they started through the series, and then they changed. They grew apart for a while, but then again, she had an unrequited love with him for seasons. So that absolutely falls into canon.
I don't think they went away from canon there.
There's
I don't
certainly
think
a
they did.
little
just
bit
canon
of
that's not
canon that's
written.
changed, but I do think this is wonderful. I love the connections back. And this show has just had great fan service, but seeing Corby in this light now before he loses his mind. Actually, I guess that we see him as a robot in the 1960s show, an android body with Big Lurch and the
Yeah.
pre-android. I mean, but I thought this was good. The changes with the Gorn really speaks to the technology changes. I didn't like it necessarily at first. I mean, it was kind of a little nod to Aliens, but it also is
Nod.
uh, just a nod. But it is also, again, we saw how the Klingons were evolved based on makeup and budget and special effects. And this Gorn, despite the Gorn, the big Godzilla suit running around in the desert,
I
I
loved it.
think it's neat. And I love the whole, Tremaine. Is this Tremaine, or is it just another, Q like Tremaine character? You had John I can't remember.
Delancey, I think
Delancey, that's his name. Yeah,
That was
I
the
knew I
void,
was
yeah. But the
right.
guy,
And Q was
yeah,
Yeah,
great.
Q.
So, and I think that reinforces what many people thought when we saw Q in that first, when we rebooted Star Trek, that Tremaine from the old show was a Q.
Yeah, yeah.
So this was I thought it was really, really good. I love the cast. I love the uniforms. It's rare when you can. Discovery look too futuristic to be a prequel to the original Star Trek show.
you're right.
This show somehow does this in a way that, okay, it's modern and update, but it still seems universe adjacent, I guess is the best way. While to me, Discovery, somebody finally made the right
With
decision. Hey, we got to go to the future, and that's a
with the
perfect
sports
place.
drive and all that other stuff that no one ever talked about. I mean, that was just such a pivotal thing in the entire Discovery that, this makes instantaneous travel, which nobody had ever talked about, and all of a sudden we just, yeah, let's just drop that in there, that made it really weird. And then they did like what Dave said, they moved it to the future where it actually belonged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really
So,
speaks better to today's culture, as science fiction is intended to do.
Right.
But yeah,
yeah.
I loved it though. I love this show.
That's
I couldn't
great.
wait.
It's so good.
No. I'm not even sure if I'll watch future episodes, but I don't
I'm
know.
contractually
I kinda
obligated to, aren't you?
I
No.
think we are. I think we are.
Actually, I'm not. But I think it's a split decision on Star Trek.
2 to 3,
Strange
2 to
New
3. It's a
Worlds
split, I guess.
that
But Paramount, you
Ma-
still
ma-
suck. You
Yeah,
just
they
suck.
do.
Paramount.
Majority like the show though.
yeah, yeah, but they could be wrong too. So definitely come back and check us out next week, where we will review what's coming up, Patrick.
Fantastic Four for sure.
Fantastic Four, First Steps. And it's back after 20-some years. Happy Gilmore too. So David, say goodnight to the people.
So long, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We are looking for requests If you want us to watch Doctor Who or more of this great
Yes.
Star Trek, you just tell us,
Yes.
and we'll
Not
be
Doctor
with you.
Who. Patrick, say goodnight to the people.
I am currently wearing my Doctor Who shirt because I love Doctor Who. And any other viewers out there that like Doctor Who, this is your chance to change the course of history and get us watching Doctor Who, because I know Pam cares about you watchers.
Boo! No Doctor Who. So definitely come back next week. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.